Hello everyone and welcome to this very last episode of this LEGO City series. The city is almost finished and is only missing one city block as well as some small details here and there. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's update. If any of you can remember from episode 10 where I built up the beach, did I say I didn't have enough pieces or minifigures to finish it completely? But now have I ordered in all the pieces I need so I can finally finish it and get in all the details I want. But firstly, let's remove the bigger stuff so I can get a clean slate to work with. So as always, I'm thinking of real life and real beaches when building and placing each and every piece. So for me, is realism important, as I think that usually makes a build better. But the thing that is most important I get right, in my opinion, is the beach volleyball court. As you may know, do I actually play beach volleyball myself? Or mostly indoor, but when it's summer, do I play a lot of beach? And in my experience, is most beach courts kind of bad, in the sense that the courts are not flat, with big holes where the people are the most, and massive piles of sand where the people are the least. So that's what I'm trying to do here, as well as adding in some piles of sand here and there on the rest of the beach to try and make it look random, but still natural. Now the sand is down, and I think it's a huge improvement. But let's finish it and place the minifigures and other details back on the beach. So let's start off with all the minifigures. And as always, am I trying to make scenes? The person showering, the guy sticking a hole at the beach, the people playing beach volleyball, the people laying and chilling on the beach, and the people jumping off the diving tower. And now I can finally add back the ice cream stand and the surf shop. And with that is the beach finally finished. And I have to say that the extra details really added a lot to the beach, making it feel completed. Let's get a before and after picture to really see the difference. And I hope you can agree that the end product is definitely an improvement. Now let's move over to the final unfinished part of the city, the big and gaping hole above the subway station. So let's just start off by covering it up with base plates so I know what I have to work with. And I have to say, seeing big and empty base plates in LEGO, I just love it so much. As I think honestly is beautiful. There's just so many opportunities on how to fill it. But I have a plan, so let's start off with that. I want to have two big skyscrapers here. Firstly, a big white one, kind of like a plaza hotel, and then a thinner black one next to it, kind of like an office building. And the black one I want to cut in half so you can see the interior. But unfortunately, don't have the pieces for that now, so in the meantime, let's just put up a little construction site. Firstly, let's elevate the sidewalk by one plate like I've done everywhere else in the city. But now that the foundation is in, can I start work on the white skyscraper? And the design for this is a bit interesting, as it is built up using alternating long columns of white bricks and columns of trans light blue windows. And the windows are inserted half a plate into the wall using jumper plates to give it some depth. Then I have 5 panels on top of each other before I connect them all with a layer of light bluish gray plates. And so let's just do that the whole way around. And I can't forget to add in a little entrance at the side that faces the front of the city, so the minifigures have somehow to get into the building. But it all goes quite quickly to build when you have all the panels pre-made. Looking at the inside of the build, do I have to say that I think it looks really cool. I don't know, but I really like the backsides of build, as you see all the stuff made to get the outside as you want it. Kind of like the behind the scenes of a movie set. Now, let's build 4 more floors, and for each layer of light bluish gray plates, I'm cutting the corners to give it quite a cool look, where it gets smaller as you get to the top, as you often see at real skyscrapers. And I'm also using 1 less panel each layer to make it a bit shorter towards the top. And again, look at this inside. I think it's just incredibly cool. I think I actually like the inside more than the outside. But the outside fits better in the rest of the city at least. Now, let's continue the build, and as I'm nearing the completion of the skyscraper, I'm placing in a little box on the top with some people looking out at the city, enjoying the view. And maybe planning an attack on the Avengers Tower. Anyway, now that it's done, do I only have to place in the logo for the building before it's done. And its name is BTT. And I've added a little crown on top so it looks like a plaza hotel. And I have to say, I'm really happy with the end results. I've not seen many other buildings in Lego that look quite like it, which I think is good because it makes it more special. And I think it's really big and grand, which is what I want with the skyscraper. And it's really sturdy too. I can even leave... Shit. Well, a quick rebuild after, and I'm ready to fix the sidewalk, which is still really plain, empty and boring. So let's fix that. Starting with adding in an entrance to the subway station. And it's made super simple using some masonry bricks, and other than that, just normal bricks and plates, as well as a little sign to indicate the station. Next, I'm adding in some plants along one of the sides of the building, to just get some color into the build and not make the sidewalk too wide. And I chose to make it in black, as it will stand out against the white building and light grey sidewalk. And because I have lots of black. Then it's only to populate the flower bed with, you guessed it, flowers. And I'm trying to get a few different flowers in the bed to really make it pop. Next, let's make the entrance of the building interesting and feel like it's a real plaza hotel, with a red carpet outside, some potted plants and a water fountain. I've also tried to break up the monotonous color palette of the sidewalk by having some dark bluish grey tiles and dark tan tiles along the building. Now I'm adding in some trees built quite simply by using some leaf elements around the modified brick and adding 2 of them on top of each other. And I'm adding in these along the whole sidewalk along the main road, as I did along the brick bank. And also adding in some street lights, of course. Now, let's finally begin the tiling process. And I'm doing as always, placing 2x2 light bluish grey tiles in a staggering pattern, while leaving lots of studs for minifigures and other things. And now behind the building, I want to create a bit of an alleyway, so I'm leaving extra many plates open. So it's gonna look a bit more rough and dirty. You'll see what I mean once it gets finished. But now the block is almost finished, and it's starting to look good, with only the small details and minifigures left. So let's get to it. So as I said earlier, I'm adding in a temporary construction site next to the skyscraper. And for now will it be quite simple, as it's not my intention for it to be there forever. But I'll still add in some minifigures pretending to work while they're actually having a break. And now for the rest of the sidewalk. And I want to create a little scene with a famous person walking along the street with some bodyguards and lots of people trying to film him and get an autograph. Then, for the corner of the block, I'm adding in a little coffee stand to try and fill up the space. Then for the rest of the sidewalk, I'm only adding in some random but funny characters like the guy on stilts or the guy riding a Segway. And now for the alleyway. And sadly, you're just seeing the first half of it, as I didn't realize you didn't see anything. But I'll give you a good look of it afterwards at least. But by placing in this light post, is the city now actually finished. And I gotta say, I really like it. I will make another video going through the whole city, so I'll just focus on what I built today. But I think this section really turned out good, with the massive skyscraper as one of the big centerpieces of the entire city and all the awesome details around it. But I really wish I had the pieces to build the second skyscraper, but it'll hopefully come up one day. And surprisingly, something that turned out to be one of my favorite parts of the whole city, the alleyway, as it's different from the rest of the city, showing a quite dystopian world with trash spilling everywhere, lots of animals, and just a few brave souls wandering down it. But I have to say, I think everything turned out quite nice. And before you leave, here is a before and after picture of the city block, where you can see the whole thing being built. But thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.